This episode of Scam School, no bicycle is safe, because we're going to learn how to open combination and padlocks without the combination or the key. This episode of Scam School brought to you by my hookup for domain smacks, those basty crafters over at GoDaddy. Welcome to the show that's been keeping taxi cabs in service since 1876. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and this week we are back with another Dan Martin special. Last time we learned how to escape from handcuffs. This time we learned how to bust open padlocks and combination locks.
Oh, what's that? Oh, what was that? Personal preference.
Oh, you're really good.
You might be the best magician I've ever seen.
Back with us once again, master illusionist and escape artist Dan Martin. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, pal. Thanks for having me back.
You better believe it. So what do you got for us this time?
Well, last time we learned about how to get out of regulation handcuffs. So I thought we'd just do the next evolution, padlocks.
Now, what's funny is when you first said we'd be busting into padlocks, I totally was figuring some kind of rinky-dink play school stuff. But this is the real deal. This is like a master padlock that would be on a locker at a high school.
Locker, on your friend's bike, whatever you found.
Now,
So.
when I was in school, there was always somebody who could actually feel the tumblers going through, and he actually could feel it and pick it, use, you know, skill, actual talent to
Yeah.
make it happen. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I don't have that talent. So
Good, because I don't either.
we're gonna use the next step, which is called a shim. This is similar to the type of shim that we used in the handcuff episode.
How do you use a padlock shim?
Okay, if you look, it's kind of like an L-shaped type piece of metal. And you can see there's a little point to the padlock shim.
Yeah.
That's what's actually going to go between the shackle and the locking mechanism.
If you see the words stamped in the top of the U,
It's to the left.
it'll be on the left-hand side, will be the one you want to do.
Right.
And so which side of the left-hand arm are you going to go in? On the left or on the
You
right?
actually want to go in the inside.
On
you
the
always want to
inside?
go on the left side, and you want to go in the inside portion,
Okay.
just like that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and take the pointy end, get it worked in there, and then bend the two pieces together,
Oh,
like
wow.
squeezing them, almost like a pair of pliers.
Okay,
And you just push it down, you work it in there,
all right.
and now as you're working it in there, you're going to want to try to pull up on the lock at the same time. So push down,
So you're squeezing this down.
you're squeezing this together, pushing while you're pushing down, and you're pulling up the
Oh,
shackle.
it popped right open.
There you go.
Get out of town.
That's it.
That's ridiculously easy. If you're having a hard time getting the shim in, if it's really tight, what can you do?
Everyone has a little tiny can of WD-40.
Yeah.
You can spray a little in there, and it should slide right down into that,
Awesome.
that crevice there.
I've heard that it's possible to make one of these at home. Is that true?
That is true, my friend. You could use a Red Bull can.
Okay.
Now, the thing about these is most cans are aluminum, and sometimes the metal and the aluminum, which we're going to show you how to make it in just a second here, isn't as strong, obviously, as a padlock shim.
Okay.
So you could use, say, like a tin can, would be a little bit stronger.
Something that you can use for repeated use.
Absolutely.
Having a lot of material to work with definitely helps.
Yeah.
So you want to cut your can as close to the edges as you can. So we'll get it like this. Once you have the center part cut out, and you want to make sure not to have a lot of crinkles. You can see we have a bunch of crinkles here at the end. So you want to have it as smooth as you can. I make sure to just do a little bit of, to get rid of the roll that's in it, right?
Yeah.
And then give a little bit of 2 or 3 times like that, and you notice that now you have a flat piece of aluminum.
Perfect.
You want to trim off the flashing on the side that's so sharp. You just kind of create a sine wave type thing.
Yeah, almost like you're like cutting like a little hill into a piece of paper.
Yeah, there you go. So you start off with that.
What you can do then, you want, if you were just to wrap this around and put it in, it's all going to crinkle. What you want to do is bend it so you have a thicker portion to use for leverage, which is very similar to the shim as well.
You want to push it up against that, wrap it around. But you want to pull in and down. There we go. There we go.
Look at that.
I actually want to try doing this, and I thought it'd be fun to actually have a race. See if the two of us could, I guess, down one of these, make a shim, and unlock a lock first. Winner gets a free drink from the other player.
Wow. All right.
Are you up for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So we'll do our final exam, but first we're going to check in with our contest, looking for the ultimate GoDaddy domain smack. Domain hosting from GoDaddy has 99.9% uptime and access to 24/7 support. And the domains at GoDaddy are so ridiculously cheap, you can register one just to spite your friends. We call it domain smacking, and let me show you what I mean. Dodd Vickers registered worstshowontheinternet.com and pointed it to my live stream page. I'll cop to that. It's a pretty bad show. By the way, if you want to pull a domain smack, you can do it for only $7.49 if you use the promo code SCAM3 at checkout, and they'll even point the domain anywhere you want absolutely free. And once you've pulled off your domain smack, send a link to me. We're making a list of the very best ones at domainsmack.com. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com. All right, so we got to decide on the rules of the game. First of all, we ought to make it clear that neither of us has a lot of experience actually doing with the soda can. This is new for both of us, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, I've done it a couple times and no, not common practice.
Okay,
yeah.
So neither of us really know what we're doing. So let's make that absolutely clear. Second rule, you've got to empty your can before you start cutting it up.
All right.
I suppose that's common sense.
Okay.
And we should standardize on which lock we're going to open.
Which one do you want to use?
Well, these two are identical, so I figure that's the most fair, right?
Okay.
So we'll get rid of the combination, guys.
Go on.
And we'll set the actual shims very far away, Mr. Sleight of Fingers. I don't want you doing any last-minute switcheroos.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
On your mark, get set, go. That's gonna taste wonderful with the Guinness later on. Aha!
Keep you awake.
Oh, dude, you already made this?
Yeah.
But see, it's the kind of thing where you want to make it
perfect.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that.
Get it?
Here, no, I haven't got it yet, but I'm gonna. I've got a good feeling about this one.
Keep bending mine. Oh, you gotta make a new one.
I want to drink that Guinness, but it's mixed with the Red Bull now. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try one more.
This is my whole can up.
You used your whole can up?
All right, it's all right. Doesn't matter. I'm
winner by default.
Doesn't matter. No, no, I'm not done.
Dun dun dun! Here, you want some WD-40 to help out with that?
Yeah, let's spray a little bit.
There we go. Now you're good to go.
Yeah, and
now your hands are going to be all slippery.
That's all right.
This isn't everybody. Did it work?
Yep.
You got it just in?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that was really. Damn it. Photo finish.
Get this man a Guinness.
The first runner-up right over here. I just can't thank you enough, Dan. That was a blast. Crime has never been so much fun. Thank you very much. Let's toast our nasty mixes.
Cheers.
As always, we want to give a very special thanks to Mr. Dan Martin for helping us out. Head on over to his website to learn about more of his magic. And don't forget that everything you learned is for intellectual purposes only. We don't need you guys out there stealing bikes and getting us in any more trouble. We will have more episodes with Dan coming back up, more getting into places we don't belong and getting out of places we never should have been in the first place. If you have video of making this work, I want you to post it at the boards at revision3.com/scamschool. Any questions about it, or if you want to suggest your favorite criminal activity or bar scam, suggest it to me at brian@revision3.com. Next week, though, we're going to be doing something a little bit sentimental. We're going to learn how to gift wrap memories with a ribbon of dreams. Until then, I got to work on getting my ride out of here.